Hello children. Till now we have learned about the scientists who have worked to know more about what we are breathing and what we are exhaling. Now in this class we are going to learn how the process of breathing takes place. Means from the environment, how the air or oxygen enters into our body and how it exchange of gases takes place, and again exhalation takes place. We will learn more about it. If you see the steps involved in the process of respiration are: first one is the breathing, gases exchange in the lung level, gas transported by the blood, cellular gases exchange at the tissue level, and the last one is the cellular respiration. I think in the previous class I said why we call the respiration here cellular respiration. Means each and every cell of our body requires oxygen and food to perform their metabolic activities. So every cell requires oxygen. Means every cell, each and every cell in our body is involving in the process of respiration. That's why we call it as cellular respiration. If you see breathing in the process of breathing means what we are inhaling it comes under the breathing. Means when we are inhaling, how the oxygen enters from the nasal cavity, then to the nostrils, and it reaches to the pharynx, and then to the reaches larynx, trachea, and to the lungs. When the breathe means the respired air reaches to the lungs, the gases exchange takes place in the lungs. Means the amount of carbon dioxide which is present in the lungs, which has brought up from the different parts of our body to the lungs. In the lungs, it is again in the alveoli. What is alveoli? Let us learn. So when the inhaled air reaches the lungs and the exhaled air from different parts comes to the lungs, here the gases exchange takes place. Means the oxygen is given to the blood, again the carbon dioxide is given to the, so oxygen is given to the blood and carbon dioxide is given back to the air. So the exchange of gases takes place. Again the gas transported by the blood. When the gas, that is oxygen, which is transported to the blood, that blood transport throughout our body and reaches to each and every tissues and then to the cells. Now here lung is an organ and it contains many cells. Not only lung, each and every part of our body contains organs, and each and every organ contains tissues, and each tissue is made up of many cells. Means from the body to the organ system, that's the lungs or heart or digestive system, whatever it may be, is a system. Next from the organ system to again it reaches to the organ, next to the tissue, then to the last one is a cell. So from the gas, means the oxygen which is present in the blood is transported throughout our body, and each and every tissue is supplied with that blood. Then again it gives oxygen to the blood, oxygen to that tissue from the blood, and from the tissue or cell, from the cell it takes the carbon dioxide back to the blood. Here oxygen is given and carbon dioxide is taken back from the cells. into the blood, and again these blood will come back to the lungs. Again come back to the lungs. When we exhale air, that carbon dioxide which is present in our lungs will come out in the process of exhalation, and some amount of water vapor also comes out along with the carbon dioxide. See, the next to the tissue level from the cellular respiration means when it reaches the cell, the exchange of gases again takes place in the cellular level, and the carbon dioxide means we call it as deoxygenated blood, means the blood which does not contain oxygen. The blood which contains oxygen is the oxygenated blood. So oxygenated blood is taken, given by the lungs to different parts of the body, and deoxygenated blood is collected from different parts of the body to the lungs. Here both the process are going simultaneously. Next, when these means the blood means not only oxygen, the blood also contains the food item which is absorbed by the intestine and stomach. Along with the oxygen, the food is also supplied to each and every cell and tissue to perform their activities, for the growth and also for the repair of the cells. Next one is the breathing. We have learned that we are inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide. How can you say that the exhaled air contains carbon dioxide? Means how can you prove it? Yes, we can prove by the experiment with the lime water. Already in the previous lesson we have discussed about it. When carbon dioxide passes to the lime water, it turns into milky white. Why? Because the lime water reacts with the carbon dioxide and precipitates. So it turns into milky white. If you see, take two test tubes. Take one test tube with the water and another test tube with the lime water. One is with the water and another with the lime water. With the help of the rubber cork, just insert the glass tubes into both the test tubes and one outlet. When you blow air, means when you blow the air into the test tubes, means what we are blowing here? We are blowing means from our lungs. We are exhaling the carbon dioxide. From the lungs we are exhaling the carbon dioxide. When this carbon dioxide, when we are blowing carbon dioxide into it, this carbon dioxide, does it react with water? We cannot see any change here. But when carbon dioxide mixes with the lime water, it reacts. This carbon dioxide reacts with the lime water and turns to milky white. By this color change, we can say that the exhaled air is carbon dioxide. So this is the respiratory gases, and we can prove by this experiment that the exhaled gas is carbon dioxide. So if you see the respiration, it is not a single process, single step. It is a physical and biological process which involves many steps, and each and every step some amount of substances are mixed and some changes also occur in the air whatever we are inhaling and exhaling. So we will learn now. If you see, when the air we are breathing, it reaches to the lung, means the pathway of the air. The pathway of the air, whatever we are breathing, from where we are breathing and how it enters into the lungs, through which process, through which organs it enters into the lungs, and how the exchange of gases takes place in the lungs. We will see here. When we breathe, the air enters through our nose. Through our nose. So, the nose is nothing but nasal cavity. The air enters into through the nasal cavity. Then nostrils. Then to the nostrils. So, nostrils consisting of, you can see in the nose, inside of your nose, small hairs. Those hairs help to prevent the dust particles not to enter into our body. What happens if they enter? If the dust particles enters into our lungs, means whatever breathing enters into that air enters into our lungs. When we breathe, along with the air, the dust particles also enter into our lungs. So these dust particles may cause many respiratory diseases and respiratory infections. So to prevent that, these nostrils, means the nostrils which consisting of hair helps. This hair will help, and you can feel when you go through while walking on the road, if dust is there, lot of dust is there, you feel some itchiness in your nose. Why? Because the dust is entering. There is one sign. Some dust particles are entering into our nose. What will you just? We will rub our nose. We will sneeze to avoid them, to let them out. So these airs helps to prevent the dust particles, and the nostrils means inside our body. The nostril is inside our body. So the surrounding air is cool when compared to whenever the air reaches into our body. These nostrils at that place only again the air gets warmer, means according to our body temperature the air gets warmer. Before entering into our body only, the nostrils will allow the air to change the temperature of the air when compared to the surrounding air. So from the nasal cavity enters into the nostrils, and from there it enters into epiglottis. So when the air we breathe reaches to the epiglottis, it enters the epiglottis. Here epiglottis is a flap-like structure which is the common pathway. See here pathway for both the food and air, but this epiglottis prevents the food not to enter into the windpipe. You can see in the next class I will explain about the epiglottis. Now I am saying that epiglottis is the flap-like structure which prevents the passage of food into the trachea. Here whatever the air we breathe enters into the trachea, and whatever the food we are eating, it goes to the esophagus, goes to the stomach through the esophagus. Next, this is the trachea. If you observe, this is the epiglottis. From the epiglottis it enters into the trachea, and from the trachea it enters into the lungs. You know, we have pair of lungs. When the trachea enters into the lungs, the trachea divides into many bronchioles. These bronchiole consisting of a sac-like structure called alveoli. These alveoli, in the alveoli, the process of, means the exchange of gases takes place. You can see these are the bronchioles, and this small one is the bronchiole. These alveoli are attached to the bronchiole. These are the sac-like structure, that is the alveoli, and each sac is called alveolar. When the air we breathe reaches from the nostrils to these alveoli, in here the gaseous exchange takes place. That is, oxygen is given to the blood. Again, carbon dioxide is collected from the different parts, is brought up to the alveoli. These alveoli, again when we exhale, this carbon dioxide comes out in the form of exhaled air. So this is the pathway of air from the nasal cavity to the alveolus. So the alveoli is the structural and functional unit of the lungs. This is the main part of the lung where the gases exchange takes place. So in the next class we will learn more about epiglottis and the pathway of air. Children, try to write the notes. Thank you. See you in the next class.